I just emailed Charlie and Sydney. And there we go.
Good.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Sydney.
Good.
Chair, you have a quorum.
We do indeed.
For one,
Well,
before we get going, I just want to let you know James Wright is on. I know we're only focusing on the letter, but he is, if you have any questions regarding the legalities and all that, he's one of the attendees and he can answer questions if you wish.
great. Much appreciated. I see him there. Yeah. Well, hopefully Jerry can make it. I know Anki couldn't, and Damia hopefully maybe too. We'll see. We'll find out. I know this is a special meeting and we can't always do that. So, before I get started, Sean, is there anything else you want to
Nope,
say? Great.
nope.
Okay,
Let's go.
so
Let's make it happen.
let's rock and roll. You all should have received the final report, and that includes our letter. Sydney and I worked on that this weekend, and we did make it what it looks like now, which is a little bit long, but I think um, accommodates and provides the sort of rationale in short order that we were hoping to also provide. My plug for this is that since it was our job and we were mandated or at least requested for this sort of review and task force, um, that this is the best we can do with providing a clear and articulable response to support um, our decision and voting. I see now, and I don't know if you're live editing, Sean. Looks like,
I can.
can you go to second line planning commission? Commission?
Oh
It's
yeah.
like something got in there. Typos. It's not even on the original. Um, what I'd like to do is go through this letter, pretty much line by line, just to make sure that everyone is okay with it. This is the key stuff that we want to finish with. I think the report had all the changes that I needed to see. We can go through that briefly. I want to make sure everyone can have eyes on that if they want, but unless I hear discussion and interest, we can sort of go through that a little bit faster. Any other questions or agenda items before we continue? Where did everyone go? Look at, there we go. Charlie, glad you could join us. Thanks. Okay. Um, so members of the Benton County Environment ENRAC, we voted, deny conditional use permit. Following major topics, which are discussed in greater detail in the company report, were key considerations and informed ENRAC's recommendation. Each reflects a significant impact that was identified and assessed in whatever event of the Planning Commission's final landfill expansion decision. We like this language because it was fairly neutral, but also accommodated both negative and positive impact reports that we've included in the bullet points below. I'll let you read that. Any other comment? Feel free to jump in, say if you want to change, say if something bugs you. I don't love to have silence be acceptance and capitulation, but at the same time, we do have to move along. So if you see any part of this at any point that you would like to address, please let me know. As for the rest of the parts, do you want me to read them aloud or should we just read them on the page or give us some time to look at things? We have had time to look at this, but I know everyone's busy, so maybe you haven't had a lot of time. Let's go through each point. Air pollution. Does anyone see any issues with VOCs and odor contaminants still cause unknown issues, et cetera, et cetera? Um, I think Sydney and I were pretty exhaustive as far as the getting the most we could out of the space we have. That said, if you really want to see a particular change or if something is grossly omitted, also please let us know.
Are the abbreviations, will they be clear what volatile organic compounds and coffin boot, are those abbreviations self-evident? Will they be self-evident to the planning commission?
I think with the full report, if they need disambiguation, they are in there, like VOCs especially. A lot of the abbreviations that I think I and others used are in there.
You can
If
see
there's
that.
if there's
Can you-
any chance that they're not self-evident, I don't think we should expect them to go looking further in the report. You know, I think it's always good practice the first time an abbreviation is
Yeah.
used to spell it out.
I'm a chemist, so VOCs are pretty standard, but I
Yeah.
think volatile organic compounds would not be a problem, and it's not going to change our line space much. Volatile, volative,
Oh, yeah.
volatile.
And I at first didn't pick up that CBL was Coffin Butte landfill because it says
That one's
R.
above though.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
and CBL is currently CBLR. What does
Yeah.
the plural refer to?
I suppose is a better verb form. Thank you for catching that. I did try to make a pass for vocabulary and tenses. That's the hardest part. Very good, Michael. Thank you. I'm going to keep moving along. If you see something from any section, continue to let us know. Methane emissions have not. Same problem. Has not, have not, have not.
Well, it's
There we go. Thank you. I think methane could stand by itself, but let's do that one.
You might consider putting in Title V expired, the expired air permit. This is referring to the air pollution, but you might say the type of permit. I don't know if that matters, but it says expired permit. It doesn't say what it is.
Hmm.
And it's DEQ Title V.
Title V. That sounds good. I like that detail.
With a capital V, not not the word five,
Looks nice.
I think that the term managed well is kind of vague and could be turned into something else.
Suggestions?
I think it needs more context, like by what you mean managed well, because I can replace it with it because I'm not sure what it means.
No, it's trying to do a lot of work right there because it's complex.
What if we just get rid of the managed well and just start out with the several EPA inspection infractions?
We have to get methane exhibitions to get in there, but
have required or have resulted in several infractions.
I can accept that. That'll work.
Have there been times where they have passed EPA inspections for their methane? If it's a constant thing, it'd be good to say constant.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, constant is hard to assess. The difficulty is that I could only find evidence for 2 inspection points, both of which caused infractions, but at least the first one in 2022, Coffin Butte responded and responded that they had completed all of the remediation or response to those infractions. The most recent one, there wasn't, to my knowledge, any actions delivered, but that one was fairly recent, and I think there's still ongoing question about what's going to happen from that inspection, as evidenced by the subpoena, etc.
Can we add the word ongoing to result in several and ongoing somewhere in that sentence?
I don't know that that is going to be accurate enough to accommodate that. Because of the legalistic and way that infractions occur and then are delivered. If there's not a delivery of action to be required by the EPA, then technically Coffin Butte doesn't have to do anything. And they did for the first one, but I don't know that the second one has sort of completed because of the ongoing information and requests that have currently been requested. I think the ongoing state efforts is sort of gives a sense there, but it's not real clear to me exactly what's going on with all of that, and it's just really hard to accommodate that in one sentence.
Are you referring to the fact that there's legislation that's being, because I don't think that's state efforts, I think that's legislative efforts, and it could stay state legislative efforts towards, methane monitoring. That's more specific.
Yeah. It was meant to include that. The state efforts
That's what I
are
was
also inclusive of both EPA and DEQ, and I'm not sure what those are doing. The legislative efforts should be, I think, detailed. So like ongoing state and legislative efforts might be a better term. Does that cover more of it?
Sure.
Yeah. Because Oregon DEQ is a state kind of function, and I believe the local EPA as well. Trying to get a lot of double duty with what
It's
words we have.
federal. It's EPA is federal.
I know, yeah. But yeah, that's fair. It's true. I think a lot of the detail in our report helps pull these pieces apart better. But of course, that is what we're trying to summarize here in very short order.
I'm not sure if I'm just not understanding the sentence, but the part about additional delay must fully analyze what is happening, I'm not sure that makes sense.
Fair enough. So the I guess the suggestion here for basis for denial is that we have to wait and see what the EPA and DEQ are doing, and I don't think it's clear what they're doing. So we must additionally delay the CUP, and that requires a denial. I guess we could say that more clearly. But
Yeah, I definitely think we should make that more clear. Like we could put like due to like unclear circumstances. We suggest like a delay in the
I think everything is fine up until the suggest additional delay. So Sabina
Additional delay is required to fully analyze, maybe?
or we could just say the current CUP must be denied to fully analyze what is happening with methane emissions. More to the point, I suppose.
There's a lot of words going on. Chair, how do you want me to write this?
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull up chat.
I'm gonna say suggest need for additional delay to more fully analyze what is happening and and say that you're talking about delaying the CUP. So suggest the need for additional delay of a CUP until ability to fully analyze what is happening with methane emissions. That's just a
Okay, Charlie, I'm getting that one. All right, so subpoena suggests need for the additional delay of CUP to fully analyze.
to
Is that
allow
what you?
time to fully analyze.
To allow full analysis of what is happening with methane emissions.
Okay, there we go.
Collaborative writing is fun.
No, maybe just cut that whole part that says and practices at CBL. I mean, that's all kind of extra words.
Well, some were, I guess, yeah, most of them are related to methane emissions here. So yeah, that's fine. There's a question of, is it only methane emissions that the EPA is looking at? But we don't know yet.
Jason,
That looks pretty
if I
good.
may make a suggestion.
Hmm.
Utilizing the chat feature, I think may help out with consistency, because it seems to be that there's a lot of back and forth is technical question or verbiage within these sections. So maybe
Yeah,
if any individuals want to utilize that chat feature, I think that may help Sean out.
I agree. Yeah, if you have better language, please do drop it in the chat.
Comments on water?
I do think we probably have to clarify about have been questioned is a little vague. Perhaps something have been questioned or at least implicated in the groundwater. Have been, what's the right term here? Let's see. Have been problematic in groundwater. Something like that. Some of that is also
There's a concern. I don't think that there's a known amount of, there's arsenic certainly in the groundwater, but
yeah.
beyond that, the surrounding wells have not been tested for like PFAS, which I'm not sure if we have the initials, like, or the actual word spelled out anywhere, and PFAS might be something that
Mm,
one of those.
yeah, did I not put PFAS in the or
No. But we'll have it here.
yeah.
Charlie, can you help me out with I forgot what.
I got it.
This
I don't
polyfluoroalkyl
know.
substances, it's kind of long. Do you want me to spell that in the chat?
I
Yeah,
got it.
that'd be great.
You have it, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I guess that's the questioning part, is because we don't know, because it hasn't been tested or well tested.
We have tested the leachate from Coffin
Yeah.
landfill. The city of Corvallis has done that, and that's why they said they wanted to not take it anymore.
Yeah.
But not the groundwater, not specifically, the wells that are surrounding it that I'm aware of.
Are we good with water?
I like heavy metals, especially arsenic.
Unfortunately, and this is information DSAC has, that we have a lot of arsenic in the groundwater baseline in this region, and it's not necessarily related to Coffin Butte.
Right. And it's a remains unsettled kind of
Yeah.
potential, especially. Yeah. Hence the need for further comprehensive groundwater and toxicological analysis.
Yeah.
Um, Jackson, do you want heavy metals, especially arsenic? Is that better than arsenic and other heavy metals?
I just think it makes more sense if you're saying organic pollutants, especially you're saying arsenic, which is a heavy metal, and heavy metals. Arsenic is that a heavy metal? It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Then it makes sense for just continuity of sentence, but
I hear you, but there's a special case for arsenic, which is why I put it there. I'm fine either way with it, frankly, but arson.
Michael?
These sections are making me think we have voted to approve with conditions rather than that we voted to deny.
Well, so the individual report sections are complicated, and many of them contain statements on, for these reasons, they should be denied. There are some sections and some bullet points that do accommodate, which is why we have that initial sentence. These are the issues that we hope that the Planning Commission will take into account.
I think the Planning Commission is unlikely to go beyond this letter.
I
And
understand.
I see further comprehensive groundwater and toxicological analysis should be conducted. Why? We're shutting the damn thing down. Now, if we're voting to expand, but with conditions, a condition is this further testing should be, it just reads to me like that we are justifying a vote to expand with conditions and saying what conditions we want.
Noted. We could take some of that out. Again, these sections are trying to accommodate what our report contains. And so we're
yeah,
trying to make that report very, very small. I hear that they're not probably going to read a lot of the report. They can if they need to. We have given that commission, we've already made that statement about what we want them to do. This is some of the rationale of all this collected together is the denial, not necessarily any one thing. That's my reading.
That edit I just put in the chat. I think the only thing that I'm seeing that makes it sound like we're just doing what Michael says is the additional delay. So I think change that to denial.
I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. I think I had that language too. I think that would be a better choice too. Need for additional denial, need for the denial of the cup to allow full analysis of what's happening. That part is in, no.
I also meant in the methane emission section.
Yeah, Jackson meant in methane, so did I.
Maybe just get rid of the need for part. I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Suggest is not a strong word.
We do recommend the denial. Yes. Very good.
Also, full analysis of, you're missing an of in that last line.
Then to address Michael, should we just keep, did you want this phrase here? I'm not guiding you. I'm just
I,
saying it.
I guess I feel like we've already said that in general, and so
Okay.
saying it each time is just
We're just,
redundant.
it was a question.
I understand. To accommodate Michael, though, how do you want to do that? Because there's a lot to cover. I don't know how to say it every time. All of this, I think, is supporting the denial. So, as we have currently stated it.
It seems to me we're inviting not a end of coffin boot. We're inviting a new cup. And let's
Well, that I think that the thing that I was going for is that I don't know how much the planning commission aims to accommodate. We've said they should deny it based off of some of these rationale. Please, we each reflects a significant impact on what was identified in our assessment. So we want to provide that information. We give our recommendation. What they do with it is up to them. So I kind of want them to have that final decision because it is theirs. Does that make sense? Does that maybe
for example, at methane or methane emissions. Emissions have resulted in several EPA inspection infractions. Done. Finished.
I do think it really is important that we mention the ongoing state legislative efforts.
Okay.
The EPA subpoena all lend a lot of complication to what's going on there. I do agree that they should all deny the cup to allow for that to continue. If you want to sort of cut the nuance of whether or not a full analysis is what's going to result in something different, those are all, I think, all part of a very important argument.
I defer to you. You have put a lot more thought and work into this than I have.
I do appreciate your assessment that we want to make it clear to them what we're trying to say. I guess I think that this is probably doing that in my mind. I don't know how the planning commission thinks, so I leave that to staff to advise whether or not we can, if this accommodates that sort of clear and present language that you think that it should look like.
James had to take off, but he did email. The challenge that Michael is bringing up is the more language that's in here, the more nuance and confusion that might pop in. I just showed, so the planning commission is going to have hundreds of pages. As we've said, as we've recommended, staff has recommended before, less is more. And just saying these, yeah, I think Michael has a point. Another issue is from the beginning, this and this is what James just emailed me was, this is kind of getting into the Coffin Butte landfill itself and not the application itself. And that's getting blurred. And this has to be specifically on the application. Now, I understand that what's happened. I mean, there's going to be methane. I mean, there's an association. But the planning commission, if they read this, is also going to look at you and say, well, you kind of went into the landfill itself, and not, you are piercingly honing in on the expansion area. And that's it. Again, James had to leave at 4:30. So I'm sharing with you, the more language that's in here, the more opportunity for confusion. So that I don't.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Let's move along a little bit and see if we can address the rest of them a little bit faster and see if there's any others that might be simplified, but I guess, yeah, I hear you. I don't. This is why we needed more people to bring this language out and make it clearer. We've done the best we can. So
I'm hesitating on.
leachate.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Any
Anything on
comments on leachate? Impact to local residents and community. This is long, but contains several good gems considering a cup. New construction introduces new opportunities for contaminant spread, destruction of local wetland ecology, both high points of the expansion consideration. Environmental justice asks that those locally impacted should have that voice. I think if you wanted to get rid of odor and NIMBY issues, I'd be fine with that. But residents near landfills experience higher rates of health issues, has been shown in literature. It's difficult to assess any further toxicological effects without more studies, and we've already mentioned that in water pollution. So I think that carries enough.
I would definitely suggest taking out the NIMBY.
I'd be fine with that. Odor and NIMBY issues remain is, I think, obvious. Do you want to just go with residents? Looks good to me.
Yeah, that looks good.
This is a societal impact. This is fairly broad. I do wonder if this relates to the cup more directly. It is not clear to me that just because the landfill is expanded, that's going to have a significant effect in this particular argument.
I think since it lifts the cap on the amount of garbage that can be left there, it actually
Yeah.
does impact the people that are close by. Adair is actually an expanding community. There are local schools that are in that area as well. So
Yeah.
the houses that are close to it will have lower property values. I think that's all accurate.
Yeah, I think it's accurate. I just wonder if this is the right place. We'll note that the next page has economics noted, and the social societal impacts are kind of an economic argument. We could try and just put that in there and take the societal aspects out and call it together there. Because that gets into the intake cap removal and the use of it. I think it was important to note the increase for ratepayers is, I don't know, likely either way, but denial of the cup almost assuredly, because further costs will require something to happen. I don't know. And I don't think it's necessarily clear to me. I'm happier with that personally. Those are still 3 separate points for economics.
Yeah, I think that looks good. I think economics is a good.
Yeah. The regional impacts, that road wear is actually kind of an economic impact too, but that's more actually for the investment. I don't know if I'm quite sure that Coffin Butte Landfill and Republic are taking on that cost. So I don't know if that's a impact that needs to be assessed by us as much. I don't know if it makes a very strong argument. So we could strike that if you want, but
Are you saying they're paying for the road maintenance from like on Highway 99 or just Coffin Butte?
I was just talking about Coffin Butte Road. I think that they had planned that, but I'm not as up on that one myself. Highway 99, I don't think that they have. I don't know if they've said anything about that.
I wasn't aware of it, so.
No.
I'm just checking in. Are we good with this language?
Yeah, anything else for regional impacts and coordination that you see to change?
I think in sort of Michael's, like why
Mm.
are we giving them ideas? Like, why are we saying that the potential for the rail use to haul waste is favorable? I'm not, are we trying to create solutions?
That's fair.
I don't think we're supposed to be creating solutions. We're just talking about why we denied the CUP.
Yeah. That's fair. I think even that whole section can go. Is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And that is in the report if they ever want to get to that, but I
Yeah.
agree. That's not as supportive of our main argument. I do kind of think, I wonder too about sustainable materials management. If that, I like the statement, but also, that may or may not actually contribute to the denial or anything either, as much
Yeah.
as it is sort of clear and present. Let
And
me
you
just
might
make
want
sure.
to take out the part that says further renewals are not likely or should be clearly stated as unallowable. I'm not sure that's,
That was getting to what Michael had put in, I think, somewhere in the report, or maybe others too, about having a clear and present endpoint for the landfill being articulated, in either case of denial or conditional approval. So that's why I wasn't sure what to do with that. It did seem like an important point we wanted to make. I'm not sure how to make it. Thoughts?
I'm just checking.
Oh, you're
Sorry, I'm
talking
just
about
checking.
and you're talking
Are
about
we?
regional
I don't
impacts.
know where. Yeah, I don't know where we are. The
No,
last thing I heard was deleting this whole section.
right.
That was okay.
Does that make sense? I think that those are nice ideas. I think that they don't necessarily support or the denial that we were looking for. If that makes sense to everyone else. Is that okay? Okay. So the regional impact,
or considered, I don't know, to make it shorter.
yeah. Making it shorter is good. I totally agree with that. That was sort of the intent. I'm fine striking sections to make this shorter.
So what do we? I'm a little lost here. Are we in this one
Yeah, so the final,
or this whole regional impacts?
I think of just the final lifespan.
Okay.
Do you want, oh wait, take it back. Do you want any, do you want to keep any part of this? Do you want to accommodate this sort of idea of having a clear end of landfill life note? If not, I mean, that kind of is a support for the denial in general though. So I kind of like that one.
I can tell you that on
Let's maybe just strike sorry.
the last DSAC meeting we had, we talked about, there's a whole group of the counties that have been meeting about what they're gonna do as far as landfill use when this
Yeah.
one is filled. And I think Coffin Butte and Republic Services will just tell us when it's full, period.
Sure. Yeah.
It's gonna be done.
And I think that's already in the current use application of, what their end of life sort of exit strategy could be. It might be that even just taking out the further renewals are not likely or should be clearly stated as unallowable. We can nix that sentence and that would make that clearer. I guess I kind of like that still there, but I'm open to ideas.
What's the consensus?
Anyone? I say take out the further renewals. We
We have a thumbs up. Okay.
have a thumbs up from Michael. All right. Great. We eliminated some extra bloat. Are there any other sections that really need more attention? Otherwise, I would suggest that this is good enough for what we're aiming to do. Perfection, bleeding. All right.
We do need to vote on this one.
Yeah. Do we want to just vote on the letter? Call good?
It would be for the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So real briefly, does anyone need to see the final report? You have a copy. The URLs and links will be fixed, I am told.
Yep.
And I'll
Charlie,
probably,
And they'll
I'm
never
sorry,
look
Chair.
at them, so it's okay.
right, yeah.
And Jason, I apologize for that. Charlie, you did confirm those three that you're good. That you said, okay, I just want to be that it was Jason, you and Charlie were the only ones that sent additional afterwards. Other than that, it's everything you saw last week.
Sounds good. Yeah, I saw everything in there that I needed. And then I think I'm signing this digitally somehow so I can make it look cool. But anyway, we'll figure that out later too. Okay. I take a vote for the report as stated here and to be finalized and sent out to Planning Commission. Show of hands, those in favor of this report. Great.
Boom.
Any opposed
Can
or
we
abstain?
sign it as the chair and all of NRAC? I mean, it represents the work of NRAC, so it's not just, and chair just sounds like not enough letters.
It is, yeah, it is in there. I don't know if you want to put it at the end, like in your chair, and then like just Ben County Environment. You want to put NRAC at the end too? Let's do that. It'll make it look nice.
It's more formal.
Is it?
I don't know.
Like that.
That
And
works for,
and NRAC chair, maybe just that part for Jason
I
and
think it's,
and the members, we're all like part of this.
oh yeah, stating, I think putting each member in there would be nice, if that's allowable.
We don't want you to work in a vacuum. It's not just you. Look at that.
If you want your names attached, I'll let you. Is that what
I
people
think
want?
that we do have members that are not here, so
Right.
that's not fair. I don't want to be making decisions on their behalf.
I think NRAC members, their name only is public, is it not?
Yep,
Yeah.
on all the minutes. So they have.
I don't know if that's a problem to put their name as public already on the membership list. I don't think anything else should go on there, but I'm open to either way.
I'm reluctant to put people's names on it without them
Yeah.
agreeing.
This is fine. The members are already on the website if people want to go find them.
Okay.
I think that's,
So we'll just do that. You
Okay.
sign and it will go. All right, we
thanks,
have a vote.
Charlie. We'll figure it out next time. It is a group effort and I definitely appreciate everyone's effort. We approved it. Thank you very much. I don't think we had anyone not voting in the affirmative. Report done. We're good.
And that's it. On behalf of the commissioners, we really do want to thank you. This is way beyond anything that we had envisioned. So we really appreciate your time.
Yes, you as well, Sean. Thank you, and everyone else's as well. I know it's been a big haul. And it still will be for some time. So let us know if you need anything else. Otherwise,
I'm looking
I
forward
should
to solar panels somewhere.
Sure. We'll see you folks at the next regular NRAC meeting. And unless there's anything else, I vote we adjourn.
Second.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Take care.
Goodbye, everyone.
Best.